and welcome to Awakening the blog. Today I'd like to share another chapter of the twin flame story regarding the fighting and the separation that not only happens in twin flame stories, just about in any relationship, these things happen. Yet in this kind of twin flame relationships, there are certain things that make it a little different than any other kind of relationship. For about maybe a week or 10 days, I've been having this urge, this desire to fight with my twin flame. I didn't understand exactly why. At first I thought I was going through, a bad mood, and with all the difficulties going in this country, I thought I was just not in a good mood. I was very sensitive to the worldly problems and everything, so I thought maybe I was impelled to want to fight because of that. I was so sensitive and vulnerable. And then the fight didn't happen. I told him, I said, I've been wanting to fight with you, but I really don't want to fight. I don't think there's a need to fight anymore like we used to. And so I just don't want to. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to get involved in a fight, I said. Obviously, he didn't say much about it because I don't think he was in the mood to fight, but it was me. And so I calmed down and I said, okay, I'm going to calm down. I don't want to fight. But there was a very strong energy happening that was really compelling me to find something to fight. And finally it happened. I disagree with him about certain things and his incoherence and on how he says things and how he does things, and how that really makes me feel so unstable in the exchange we have. And then I decided to look at the astrology chart to see what was going on, because I said, I've been fighting this desire not to fight. But there was a strong energy and a strong impulse that was making me really want to find a reason to fight with him. So I looked into the astrology chart. I looked into his chart. I looked into my chart. And interestingly enough, I found that his progress moon has entered his first house. It's in Sagittarius. And it's conjuncting to transiting Saturn, which makes you feel very sensitive because it's in the first house and just conjuncting the ascendant, and maybe a little depressed and stuff like that. But what I found on top of this was that transiting Uranus, which is in Aries right now, is in conjunction to his radical moon. And Uranus is very electrical and creates separation, and it's very erratic, and conjunction to the moon, probably it has to do with fights and separation with females in his life right now. And I said, oh my God, how interesting. So I started thinking about how cosmic energy is really impacting our behavior and our life. And I was wondering myself, I talked to my astrologer and I said, how can this be? He has the bad aspect. I have good aspects in my chart. He's had bad aspects in his charts for a long time already, because of the Saturn in his 12th house and coming and going through the ascendant and conjuncting to radical Neptune, and also the moon, the progress moon. And so I said, I thought maybe, it was just my mood or whatever, but why is it that he's the one who has the bad aspects and I'm the one reacting to them? It's like, oh my God, I suddenly said, why am I reacting to it. And obviously I started thinking and saying, okay, he is emanating this energy, this Uranus moon energy, and obviously that's the kind of energy he's putting out, being him conscious of it or not. And then I said, oh my God, what can I do about this? If as much as I can be conscious of the cosmic energy and I didn't want to fight, it was just too strong for me not to really go into a situation where we were going to disagree and have problems. And I was really surprised. Well, surprised in one way, and then just in awe to see how we are sort of like puppets of the cosmic energy in this world, and it's like things just happen as they have to happen, and they unfold as they have to unfold. I kept wondering, why did I have the desire to fight with him when it's his aspects that are not doing very well? And I kept wondering, and definitely, I mean, he's emanating this energy that's bringing up this impulse in me. After all, we are very connected. I don't know how he's doing with other women in his life, but I know how I am reacting to this situation right now. So we had a discussion, and I felt very fed up with many things from his personal self. And that took me again to consider something that I've been thinking about so many times, and this is the thinking I've had. I don't know how many of you have something like this going on, but I was wondering if he is really my twin flame, in a sense that, I mean, his personal self is so extremely different from the soul energy that has appeared in my life, and that I have shared so many chapters on how that energy, that soul energy, has come into my life, and it's been through him. So I had to consider and shuffle some other possibilities. And one possibility that I am considering is that maybe my twin flame has not incarnated in this life. And since he is so empty of himself, and that again is my perception, and according to my experience with him, that's how I have felt, that he is disconnected from himself, that he is not in contact with his true self and true inner sense of being. And maybe, if this is a possibility, my soul twin flame, my twin flame that is not incarnated, and that's a possibility, again, as I say, I'm thinking, is using his body and personality to reach to me, to give me the lessons that I have had. Because finally, most of all the intense experiences that I have had have come through mystical experiences, as I have been in contact with his personal self. I mean, he, as a personal self, he has really touched all my wounds and has helped me work through many issues, because he's always nagging into how much, he doesn't really love me, according to what he says, but his behavior contradicts that thing, in a sense that he's in love with someone else, supposedly, but he looks for me all the time. So it's very, very strange. Therefore, since I feel, and I told him, I love profoundly this soul. I don't know if that soul has anything to do with you as a person, but that soul is connecting to me through you, through your personal self. Either that soul is related to your personal self or it is not. And it's a little sad sometimes to think that maybe there's nothing related between, that soul and that human person. And sometimes I feel a relief too, because I say, oh, thank God, because, dealing with the personal self is so difficult, because he doesn't want to grow. He wants to be stuck in his very small square-minded place. He doesn't want to go inside and look for himself. He doesn't want to do any sort of inner work to discern anything. He's just reacting by impulse, maybe stimulated by that soul that is helping him unconsciously to do the things that he does and connect with me or keep in contact with me. But I have not gotten tired of just one thing, and is of loving that soul. I got tired of the personal self, his and mine as well. Because it's the other day that we were having another discussion before the big one that was yesterday. I was complaining a little bit about his incoherence of saying one thing and doing another, and then I said, well, maybe the problem is not you. Maybe the problem is me, and I'm going to see what is it that I need to change. The reason why I have not disconnected completely is because I have this soul energy that really pushes me to be in contact with you, and try to keep on working on our personal selves to align with the spiritual self, and so we can one day manifest the union as it's supposed to be. But now, really thinking about that possibility that maybe my twin flame has not incarnated, and that soul energy is just using him to manifest many things, is a big one. It's a very big one, because in trying to be clear about what's really happening, I can't understand how they can be so different. His soul energy and this personal self energy, they are just extremely different. And I don't find a way to understand how this can be, there could be such a disconnection. So, I'm thinking maybe, well, okay, it's a possibility that I have to consider until I get clear enough in my connection to the universe that I can be able to listen to the answer. Every time that I wanted to run away and relax a little from this connection, something out of the blue happens that comes from, it's not a physical realm. It's, through dreams, or this energy that I have felt that is around me so strongly, and he's in my mind so long, like I shared, it happened last year. It's really difficult not to continue being connected because for me, that's the only reason. I even told him, you think that by the way you behave and the way you do things and you say things and everything, that you believe that I would want to continue a relationship with you from that place that it's so unstable and incoherent and not transparent to me. Obviously, no, I wouldn't want a relationship with somebody like that. But the thing that keeps me so connected is such a spiritual energy that binds us, that connects me to him, even though if he is not related to that soul energy, but the soul energy is using him to generate many things in my experience. So those are two things interesting to consider, how the cosmos is really impacting our lives. And as much as I could be aware and I say, I don't want to fight, but the energy is just so strong that it was impossible not to. That's one thing. And the other thing is the possibility of this being who is empty of himself could be a means by which the spiritual energy of my twin flame, or this being that's so close, so amazingly powerful, that has given me so many things to learn, and I even feel the love that personal self doesn't have. I feel it so strongly in this soul energy. Those possibilities, at least in my case, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that might feel something like that sort as well, need to be considered. And a part of me says that his personal self is related to that spiritual self, but he needs to do the work. He knows he has it, he has that energy inside, but it is quite dormant. And as much as he knows that energy is inside, as long as he doesn't awaken to it by doing the work that he needs to do, it's going to be dormant, no matter what. I can't do much more for him than what I've done. I've tried to do as much as I can, giving him tools and possibilities. If he doesn't want to do it, nobody, absolutely nobody can do it for him. So, well, that's what I wanted to share. The fighting and separation issue that happens now and then. I don't know what will happen later. But at least that's where I am right now, and I wanted to share especially for those two things that are very important to know. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to be notified whenever I upload videos. It's a bilingual channel. Sometimes I'll upload videos in English and sometimes in Spanish. Also, you can participate with your stories or comments directly at the blog. If you want to write it here in the YouTube link, it's okay too. You can follow us at our Facebook, which is awakening.goypaz. And we also have a Twitter, which is a bilingual Twitter. I share in the Twitter things I don't share in the Facebook. And in the Twitter, it's easier to share the daily things. So if you want to follow me, it's again, the Twitter is GOYPAZ. Quite simple. Thank you very much for taking your time to listen to this video, and hopefully you can follow us and subscribe to the blog or the YouTube channel, whatever it feels best for you. And we'll see what keeps happening. I'll be sharing it. Thank you so much. Until then.